strategy on the left from the Democrats seemed to be avoid everything. And to me, that was going to lose her the election definitively. Now it's a tight race. It's nip and tuck. It's going back and forth. I like that. I thought she was on the verge of losing with the strategy that they were employing prior to her doing these interviews. What is my evidence for this, dare you ask? Let me help you out here. Biden was the president of the United States. Was there a primary? Did I miss something? I'm asking you to just say hallelujah, yes, no, or whatever you want to my staff out here in studio. Did I miss something? Was there a primary? There was no primary when it came to Biden. We didn't see him going up against other candidates on the left because the Democratic Party had manipulated the proceedings in such a way to ensure that he would be the Democratic nominee for president. And if it wasn't for a debate on June 27th, where his cognitive decline wasn't so flagrantly evident, he would have marched into Chicago as the Democratic nominee when they knew damn well it wasn't going to fly. But ultimately, the debate exposed it. So when the debate exposed it, and then nearly a month later, he decides to back out for the good of the country, Kamala Harris is inserted in as the Democratic nominee. What was the problem with that, ladies and gentlemen? Just like he didn't have a primary and he didn't have to face any competition, neither did she. Which harkened people back to what transpired in 2020 when she was a presidential candidate and she couldn't get to Iowa because she didn't have the support. They used that and they coupled that with her approval ratings and said, yo, this ain't gonna work. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint, if you don't get out there and show people who you are, you're going to lose this election. Did you see Trump weeks ago? The war in Ukraine, with Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Hamas, then Israel and Hezbollah, or crime in the streets of New York City, or LA, or Chicago, or St. Louis, or wherever. What was Trump saying? Do you see what's going on? I'm showing up. Where is she? He was implying she wasn't tough enough. He showed up to the NABJ, the National Association for Black Journalists Conference. She didn't. Now, in fairness to her, she had a funeral to attend. But he wasn't going to mention that. He was just going to point out, I'm here, she's not. And was anything substantive coming from that? No. Reporter asked him a question. You're very rude, very nasty question. You didn't even say hello, how are you? Remember that? He got you all caught up in all of this other stuff, but she wasn't anywhere to be found. So if you're trying to win this election, you got to show up. And you got to make sure you answer questions. Maybe you don't have to answer questions as to whether or not you flip-flop with fracking. Maybe you don't have to really get into your repositioning on the border issues. But do you have to discuss crime in the streets of America? Yes. Do you have to discuss the paucity of opportunity given to black people, black businesses? You damn right you do. Do you have to discuss what your economic plan is? Yes, you do. You have to discuss these things. And you have to discuss it in a way where folks are looking at you and saying you are addressing the concerns of the black community. Ladies and gentlemen, she wasn't doing that as conspicuously enough as she should until now. And maybe it was all planned. Wait until the election draws near. It's only a few weeks away. Now's the time to do it. Not a month ago, not 6
Policies over party. It's the policies that affect the American people. It's the policies that has affected the American people. Always has been, always will be. When I think of policies, I think of illegal immigration. I think of sending billions of dollars or spending billions of dollars on illegal immigrants, but no resources for American citizens. Spending hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in resources in Ukraine, while the American citizen, the American people, are barely able to provide for themselves. While we have homeless veterans sleeping on the streets, and we're making it illegal for American citizens to find a place to sleep. Policy over party. I'm listening for policies that's going to benefit the American citizen, the American people. Not identity politics, not about if I like a person or dislike a person. I could play football with a person I dislike, but if he's a better quarterback, I want him throwing the ball. He don't have to like me. I'm a great running back. Run me the rock. Give me the ball. I'll score the touchdown. If I got a proper tackle, guard, and center blocking for me, and a proper quarterback. I don't have to like them personally. And I really could care less what you're supposed to be doing or what you're doing behind closed doors with your partner. What I care about is what you're doing for our children and the American people. Policy over party. What are her policies that's going to benefit American citizens?